We've got Gomez live from Las Vegas to talk us through how this one went down. Brother, congratulations on the victory. Walk me through this. You are now 18 of 20 attacks straight through the last 4 games. What do you think is the key to the success that you guys have been having on the offensive side of the ball?
Just the work that we've been putting in. I think like the first 2 weeks, like we were kind of rough in attack, but then we just figured it all out.
Yeah, Gomez, I'm sure you're aware that Mirage, they played back-to-back Villa this week. They played it yesterday and now just played it against you guys. How much VOD review and work went into that last night, whether it was from your team or from your coaches, kind of dissecting what they were doing yesterday? And how much of that did you try to bring into your gameplay today?
We didn't really get the VODs until like 20 minutes before our game, so we just went in like thinking about ourselves and wanted to play our game, and yeah, that was it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then so what you were saying more so with that, you're focusing on yourselves. Naturally, you're going to have some adjustments mid-game, especially on your defensive side. With Mirage's executes being so sporadic and weird, what were those comms like? How was that sort of adjustments on your side?
I think like by the 3rd round, I think we called a timeout, and he just realized that like we were winning every gunfight, so we just kept the aggression throughout the entire game, and yeah, it was quite easy.
We haven't been able to talk to you quite so yet on the desk, you and DS obviously being able to play with that aerial rise as that duo for quite a long time in the CL scene. But talk to me now about the differences between what you were able to do in Tier 2, in Challenger League up to now. Like, you're obviously playing in a LAN environment, you see your teammates every day. Has that really, you think, helped kind of the cohesion in this team come together?
Yeah, for sure. The vibes on stage are just unreal. Like, everything just goes like perfectly, and yeah.
Shortest interview we've ever had in a long time.
Great.
Good stuff, Gomez.
Short and
Congratulations again on the win for that game. The interview went about as fast as the overall game did, so we'll see you hopefully next week with another dub under their belt. We'll see you in a bit.
Thank you, thank you.
We've got Hopes from Las Vegas to talk us through, the coach of Oxygen Esports. Brother, congratulations on the win. I feel like we don't really get the chance to talk to coaches very often, so I thought it'd be a good idea to pull you in for this one. And I wanted to ask a little bit, Cafe yesterday and today, both of them were comebacks. One yesterday didn't work. Why did this one work out way better?
Well, to be honest, we made a lot of mistakes both yesterday and today. I think yesterday we kind of learned a lot on our, I guess, attacking side, whereas today we kind of struggled on defense. But I feel like today was just like a story of mental toughness, which is something we struggled with our prior rosters. So I feel like that was like the main reason for the comeback today.
Yeah, Hopes, I mean, you and I had a conversation over the weekend, and one thing you mentioned to me was a moment in the Beast Coast game where attacks for Beast Coast were going kind of well for them, and Fox made a call as the IGL and sort of changed the playstyle of the team, and then from there on, it was pretty easy for you guys. In this game, you were down 6-3, and then something happened. You guys won 5 rounds in a row. Was there a similar moment where Fox as the IGL was able to call something and the team made an adaptation, or what happened there?
I think a team like Parabellum, you know, they're going to catch you off guard the first few times. That's just like how they are. Their defensive strats, in my opinion, are like slightly gimmicky. So like as the game progresses, you kind of like, you know, you start to get the hang of it, which is, you know, it's fine. But we're a strong attacking team, so I'm not really too surprised that we were able to like pull off 5 straight.
Yeah, and then so you were just saying that the strats can be kind of gimmicky. Was this just a premeditated take them to Cafe regardless of the result yesterday?
We didn't really, I guess. I mean, Cafe is obviously one of our better maps, and I know they're kind of strong at it too. But we know that like historically, they'd like to bring like a castle of Rooney, so we figured we ban a Rooney, maybe like make him a little uncomfortable. But you know, it was just like taking them to our good map versus their good map. We knew it was going to be a good game regardless, but we were expecting a win in regulation for sure.
We asked the similar questions to guys like Foxe and Dream back when they were on this interview from before, but I do want to get it from your perspective. As you've brought 2 new players in a lot of cases for OXG, it feels like sometimes it's a revolving door. Some guys come out, but the same core continues to stick around. Now that you've got Dream and Newers on the squad and 6 games in, what's your overall thought about how everyone's gelling together?
I think overall, we're doing really well. I think the comms are definitely an improvement. I think the mental game definitely an improvement. This week obviously was a little bit of a letdown. In our opinion, you know, we felt like we should have won yesterday too. I'm sure SSG obviously feels the same. They're gonna probably think that as well. But overall, like a rough week. But we're just taking it game by game, not taking any opponent for granted, and just gonna try and keep winning.
Well, you know it's a really, really good team when they say 1 loss, 1 win is a rough week, and you're still at the very top of the scoreboard, at least for right now. So Hopes, head held high going into next week. Congratulations again on the victory, and hopefully we'll see you back here for another interview very shortly.
Thank you. Hope so as well.
Let's talk to Drip over in Vegas to figure out exactly how this one went down. Brother, congratulations on the victory. We saw you like hopping and skipping and stuff, man, like post-victory. How happy are you that you were able to get this dub?
I was pretty pumped because yesterday, you know, I was sick. That's the only reason XSET won, because I personally would never lose to Gomez if I was healthy. But I came back today. I was feeling good, and we knew we're good at bank, and the results speak for themselves. It was 7-5. It should have been a little closer. But I mean, yeah, I was jumping, and I was having a field day. It's always fun beating Skies. Not that hard though, but it's always fun.
Drip, I want to talk to you a little bit. We've talked to some other teams about you guys, and you've been referred to maybe as meatheads in the past. I think you guys actually have some pretty cool strategies. I want to talk a little bit about who kind of comes up with those. What's the brain of your team? Because you've got a really good support staff coming in of Mark, Rams, and Crux. Then you've got Slash. How do these ideas come together for Beast Coast?
We just have creative players and creative coaches and staff. You know, I've had a lot of check stealer coaches and staff in the past, but Mark and Rams and Crux work really hard, and they've like changed my opinion on what, like, you know, a siege coach and what they should do. And, you know, Rams, Mark do great counter stratting, and Crux does good analytical work, and we put in a lot of work and VOD review, and we knew today we just had to play some ranked. You know, you can't get over analytical against SSG, but I mean, I think our strategy paid off. We won and they lost, so I mean, it's just another day for Drip Bullen, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's really fair. So, in specific, going to the map choice of Bank, was there something in SSG's Bank, because, you know, they've been successful on this map against multiple teams earlier on in the season, or did it just kind of happen to go that way?
I think SSG's only played Bank once this stage so far, and that was against Mirage, which that doesn't count as a team, so that's just a dry run with Resistance. So we weren't too worried about them. We knew yesterday, like, you know, the game wasn't casted yesterday due to the things in New York, but if you watched our game, we should have won 7-3. We threw. I wasn't feeling well. You know, I guess God is an XSET fan, right? Because I just was like, the whole game, and I was down, but I'm like, I'm back today. I'm ready to play some Bank. I don't care who we're playing. We know we're good on Bank. They won their world title on Bank, but that was like 5 years ago. It's past that time. It doesn't matter.
You are just like, you're right below them as of right now in the standings, only by 1 point. They're in 4th, you guys are in 5th. You're still looking for that way to creep up into said top 4, and you've still got a plethora of opponents ahead for these next couple of games to do that. If you're going to make the major, it's going to require a lot of those games won. So what's your plan, like mentally, strategically, for these next couple of games to accomplish that goal?
I mean, we're just going to take it one game at a time. Next game, we have TSM. TSM's a team, you know, if you follow me on Twitter, you know that, like, you know, as much as I crap talk and bring down other teams, in my opinion, they're one team, like, they could be 0-5 million. I still think they're one of the best teams in the region, so we're going to go into that game hard. I mean, but we're just going to try to win. We have Mirage and Astralis after that, but we're taking, even Mirage, as bad as they are, like, you got to go in, you got to respect your enemies. I know it's weird for me to say that, but even if you look over and see Thomas on the other team, you know it's Thomas, it should be a free win, but you got to make sure. So you got to go in with, like, you got to go in hard. Astralis doesn't have Retro anymore, so they're actually a hard team to play now, and I mean, you just got to go in every game, fresh mindset. It's 1st to 7, and you just got to play like that. It's a 45-minute game. You got to go hard in those 45.
No, you're not wrong. Keep on staying true to the brand, man. Again, congratulations on the win. This one's certainly a statement. 3 games left. Seeing if that top 4 is something you guys can crack into and get a little bit of international competition under your belts. But like you mentioned, job's not done. Enjoy this one. We'll see you next week.
Job's not done. Thank you.
We've got Forrest on the other end to talk us through just what the heck happened. Apparently, the F in Forrest stands for frag or for F2, whichever you prefer. Dude, congratulations on the victory. What the hell are you guys doing that's working so well right now?
We're just playing our game. You know, we're not doing anything special. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to copy people. We're just playing a natural flow set of Siege.
Forrest, I want to ask you about moving over to this Astralis lineup, because you and Callout kind of came from CL together. You've been a duo, been on the same team for a really long time now. Tell me about what it's been like moving from that Challenger League lineup, obviously your old days in Tier 1 as well, now moving on to Astralis as a duo, how that's been for you guys.
It's been a blast. You know, I always felt like him and I were always good enough still to compete at T1. was more of like, you know, being able to prove it. Even though like we failed in Challenger League, I still believe that like the system we had was like, you know, like any team would be successful with it. Like the way Call sets it up and the player development and strats and such, and but coming into Astralis, like he's really like flipped the table upside down, and, like reinvented the team.
Alrighty, and so in this game in particular, we found you not necessarily on the hard reach roll, the Habana that you've been playing. You had the F2, you were feeling a little bit more loose. Was that always the call on a map such as Villa, or are we just going to start seeing a frag in Forrest in every single game we have?
I can't say too much about that, but it was more of you know, yesterday I was underperformed, I thought personally. I thought like, you know, it's kind of one-sided game, but like individually I thought I was trolling. So I knew today, like, I just had to step it up, and you know, I brought that fire. You know, it didn't matter what op I played. Like, I just knew I was like, I'm smoking people today, no matter what.
As the newest team to take down the current reigning world champions, obviously you had to do plenty of breakdowns to make sure that this game was going to work in your favor. But if you had to say one thing to TSM, obviously they're struggling. Whether you want to uplift them and maybe find something that they aren't doing very well that you think they could fix, or if you want to trash talk, what would you say to TSM after that victory?
I mean, honestly, like, you have to be humble. I can't really trash talk. They just won the world champion. Like, I just came from CL, like a bum. So it's like, what would I have to say, you know? So it's just like, I think TSM need to let their nuts hang more. They're kind of just like, kind of stagnant right now. Kind of like, let people do what they want to do. So like, they definitely need to like start throwing punches back.
I think that's fair. Obviously, from what we've seen from TSM, it feels like they're on a very downward slope at the minute. But you guys, we'll pull up stats in a second to figure out how close you guys are to major qualification. But you are so close. So Forrest, congratulations on the win.
Yeah.
International competition might just be on the precipice for you guys. Enjoy this one, and we'll hopefully see you next week.
Thank you.
Panba, congratulations on the victory. It's good to bring you in on the interview. Talk me through DZ and new maps. We've seen you guys usually ban out the other ones like Skyscraper and Theme Park, not usually in your repertoire, but what do you personally think of Border?
I think Border is it's honestly a pretty fun map. You know, I haven't played competitive for too long, so I never played Border until like a few weeks ago when they added it. The main reason we haven't been playing the new maps is because like we just didn't want to take new teams to it, but now that we're playing like more established teams like, you know, TSM, Sonics, we're perfectly fine with going to the new maps, and I think they're pretty good maps.
Well, okay, Pamba, you've been on this team, you've been playing in Tier 1 for a little while now. What has been the thing that's been kind of worked on throughout the offseason? Obviously, you came back from SI, you had a decent result, you know, maybe not the hammer that you wanted, but you still played pretty well. What have you been working on in the offseason and then over these last couple of weeks? Because your stage so far has been good, but there have been some shaky moments.
I guess like the biggest thing we've been working on is just trying to find like consistency, you know. At Invite, we started off very poor, did really good, and then like ended off, you know, not the best, and just that's kind of how our NAL stages go as well. We just need to try to find like consistency. That's what we've been working on as a team, just trying to refine like all the little things.
Alrighty, so your final 3 games of the stage go XSET, Space Station, and Oxygen. Those are 3 very difficult games. Is there anybody you're necessarily like really worried about, or on the other side maybe really excited to play against?
I'm specifically excited to play XSET. Like 3/5 of those guys I've been best friends with for years now, and to see them finally make the league, you know, it's been amazing. I've been having so much fun with them, and I'm so excited to play them. I think that will be a great match.
So you jumped onto this roster quite a while ago, like Jesse mentioned, but if you had to figure out where the team sits these days after SI, after having, you know, a major and a previous stage of the NAL under your belt so far, if you had to give me a percentage, where do you think you guys are operating at? Is it at 50%? Is it a little bit above it? Are you kind of running full steam ahead? If you had to gauge it, where would you say you're at right now?
I don't know about a percentage, but I think we're doing really well. You know, we had a rough week last week, only got 1 point, but I think we're in pretty good form right now. Super excited to finish off the season pretty strong. Like you said, we do play 3 of our harder games, but I think they'll be good. I think we can close it out 3-0, but we'll see.
All right. Hey, strong words. You're going to enter the gauntlet and you think you'll get 3 dubs. I'm certainly hoping for your sake you'll be able to do it because a major berth is in question at this point. But still, congratulations. Good week from you guys overall. Enjoy this victory, and hopefully we'll see you back here for the interview at some point down the road. Have a good one, man.
Hopefully not, but thank you.